Hi, my name's Claire and I'll be talking the do's and don'ts on how to blend with acrylic paint. Most of the time when I see the videos, they don't really talk into details on how you're supposed to use the brush, nor like what kind of brush and stuff like that. And these are some things that people told me when I was first starting like painting, especially with acrylism. Let's talk about the brushes first. So here we have like 3 types of brushes. So it doesn't matter which brush size you're using, as long as like it's either a straight brush or it's the slanted brush. So whatever size you want to use, depending on how whatever you're blending. So if it's a large like painting, you're going to want to use the bigger brush, while if it's a smaller thing you're blending, you're going to use a smaller brush. I love the slanted brushes when it comes to blending because I feel like it's the best, but also it really depends, because sometimes I'll use this one most of the time just because my canvases tend to be larger. Okay, so and let's also, when you're blending, something to note is to make sure the brush is constantly like not soaked but a little bit wet, just a tiny bit. So here with my painting, I'm going to be using this brush here just because it's blending something small just to show on the blending part. And I'll also talk about which direction you're supposed to go. So something to note is when you're first applying the colors and you're blending, try to blend from downwards to upwards. So you're not going to blend from like this to this, but you're going to go from here to here to here. And also, instead of, I always see the videos like using like blending like this. I find that typically hard with just acrylic paint because it dries so quickly and it doesn't blend as well. So I recommend blending slantedly like this. And I'll show you how that works in just a second. So here are the colors I'm going to use right here. As you see, I'm mixing like red, orange, and yellow basically. And here's how we start. So first of all, when you're applying the first color, make sure your brush is a little bit wet. And then you're just going to apply the color directly. Right now I'm not blending on canvas, but I'm blending like on like paper that's good for acrylic painting. And I recommend trying to use something very smooth at first when you're starting with painting, because you're not going to be used to the acrylic and how it blends well first. Okay, now we're gonna get the other color, which is gonna be orange. So you want to first apply all the colors and blend after. So this is like the orange one. So here is the orange right here. It's probably gonna be harder to see on camera the difference, but there is a bit of a difference. So here I'm just trying to make it look a little lighter for the camera, so I'm adding a bit of yellow just to make it look more of an orange. So you're gonna apply the color like this, right? First, just in plain straight lines. Then after that, when you're blending, you're gonna go upwards. So you don't blend downwards, you blend upwards. And in all the videos, you're gonna see them blending like this, exactly straight forward, which is not a bad idea, but you're also gonna wanna go slanted like this. That helps to smooth a much smoother finish, as you can see. And if it's a little becoming like losing the color on top, you just simply add it. But since it's darker, it won't matter either way, because it won't overpower, unlike if you started blushing from downwards. So then here we're also going to talk about, so you know how the color we use up here? You continue using the one for a larger time, like the orange on the bottom here. I'm blending a lot of the colors because like I don't have a last one. I use mainly the primary colors. Then after that, you're going to want to pitch your yellow, right? So here I'm just washing off the previous colors because now we're going to use the lightest color so we can have the darkest color on top. So here is the yellow. See, it's a very bright yellow. And then again, you're going to blend like this, straightwards like this, just blend flatwards. Then blend diagonally. That way it'll be a much smoother finish, trust me. So you're going to want to blend this one all the way up. Just go all the way up. You'll find it like a much smoother finish when you do it that way. So then you're going to wash off the brush again. Then apply the lightest color again on the bottom, as you can see right here. So blend straightwards, then like diagonally like this, like I talked before. Try your best to always like blend diagonally after, just because that's going to make a big difference at the end. Because that makes a much smoother finish, as you can see, compared when I was first diagonally when using it just straightwards. So you see how now I'm just not want to use straightwards, but when I use the brush slantedly, it adds a much like nicer smooth thing. Nice smoother like transition from color to color. So here you can see the colors being blended smoothly. Now the camera's not really showing the orange as well as I wanted to, but I'll try to make the orange as light as possible just so you can see it better. And see, again, try to blend it diagonal because that will see a much smoother finish. As you can see, we're getting a nice transition from there. And I'm gonna make the little red top on the red on top a little darker just so we can see it a little better. So I'm gonna blend it with some either blue paint or just black paint. I just wanna make sure the red's a little darker, a little more purplish, just so we can see it a little better. And I wanna point out we've been using 3 colors and I already have like a much smoother finish than we did before. So on the top, it's going to be more of a purplish red, but that's just because I want to make it a little bit darker. So it's going to be a little bigger transition, but if you blend it well, it doesn't matter either way. So we're making the darker red right now, just to make it a nice. And here we go. We have a darker red now on top, as you can see it. And now I want to blend in upward like that. I know I said not blend it, but this is just because I want to redo it anyways. So then you're going to go with the yellow all over again and start from the bottom. You're going to see a very nice and finish. And again, paint it diagonally like I was doing before. So we're going to go with the yellow paint, go like that, then go upwards. Then just go like that way. You see it becomes a nice smooth finish. You can go downwards again if it's getting a little too light, but then always go back up with that. And you see how this smooth transition's going? If you ever notice that the color's coming off the page, just make sure to add more paint so it doesn't ruin it. And you see how the transition becoming a lot smoother now? And again, diagonally. That will create a nice finish. And always try to blend both directions just because it makes it even more smoother. And here's you got the transition. You can see a much smoother transition than it was before. And you just keep going in this direction, specifically just keep doing it all over again until it's perfectly smooth. It's a really good method, especially when you're starting off, because it's a little hard to figure out stuff at first. And I'm just going to go a little more with the yellow just to make it a bit more smooth than it was before. So here we go. Put more of the yellow. Make sure you're blending all the way to the ends. That's important, or it's going to mess up like how it's blended on the sides too. So like that, like that, like that. And you see how it's becoming a much smoother transition than it was before. If you notice it's starting to change a little bit too much, you can always go back, add the red a little bit, then go back with the lightest color and then blend from the bottom to up. Because that way you'll have like a less time overpowering any color on top. Because since it's a lighter color, it's going to be harder to overpower anyways. See how that's a nice smooth transition? And again, more of the light one on bottom. Then go up and keep going up. You see how it's getting the more of the mid-tone orange in the middle. Then again, we can go with the red on top. Like that. Kind of messed up on top and I actually forgot to wash the brush. Make sure to not do what I just did now. Then you get the darker red that you made on top and you add it up there. So again, do the same like that, and then keep going like that. And you can see even a better transition than before. Like I said, always try to go all the way at the ends of whatever you're painting, just so it's smooth everywhere. And you see here, and this is like I call it like a painterly blended style. Like it's not exactly the perfect smoothest line, but if you're a person like me, you're trying to paint the sunset, stuff like that, it's a really good transition. Because it's not too smooth, but look right in between. And here we go, we have the blended right there. So it doesn't really look that good right now, but when I take off the camera, I'll show you exactly how it looks, so it looks like a more smooth transition. So here we go. So here it is. So here, as you can see it more smoothly, you can see the orange in here, and it's going to be a little better if I can change the lighting a little bit. But as you can see, it's a much more smoother transition on top. You see the orange, you see the yellow, and you see everything like that. And here, if I get it closer, you can see the smooth transition here. You see the orange and everything's blended pretty nicely. I recommend like maybe in the middle tone, making it much larger than I did here because you won't see it as much, but that's just the way to do it. And that's it. That's all you need to know on how to blend a smooth painting and make it very nice, especially when you're doing a sunset like me and stuff like that. So thank you for watching my video.